What up, world? What up, world? You're listening to 35 KY Sports. It's your guy, Murph.
It's your boy, Al.
Man, we back at it again. Got another legendary interview set up, man. Who we got in the studio today with us, Al?
Man, we got a really special guest today. This man is fresh off a state championship. He's finishing up prom last night. This young man, his future is in front of him. And, I'm going to go ahead and start it now. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yes, sir.
Mr. David Johnson in the studio with us. Welcome to 35 KY Sports, man.
Thank you for having me. Yes, sir. We appreciate you coming through, man.
Man, less than 1 week ago, you were celebrating in Rupp Arena. We want to congratulate you, your teammates, the whole Trinity program on that state championship, man. It was an amazing run. We were there for most of it and just thoroughly enjoyed watching you all play, man. Congrats on that.
Man, so it's been a long year, man. Let's just kind of start out from the beginning, man. I know Al and myself, we always talk about that game you had in the Junior All-Star game. I knew you were there, Al. Like, kind of talk about how he played, man. Like that was a crazy performance.
Man, it was an eye-opening performance. It was in June, I think, of 2018. And they had the Kentucky-Indiana Junior All-Star Series. They played the week before the seniors played. And, I mean, Dave, long story short, Dave came out, was the MVP of the game, had 28 points, did what he wanted against the best from Indiana, which they claimed to have, always the better team.
Right.
But Kentucky beat them. Juniors swept the series, and as well as the seniors won the game here. So, I mean, we kind of starting to even things up.
Right.
Mr. Johnson and the rest of the cast, because this is also a really talented junior class as well with Moreno, Kaká. I don't even think he played, did he? Dante played, and one of them didn't he, I think. So, really talented class, and man, he did his thing in there. That's kind of when he, I knew he was like, he's coming back with senior year. Yeah, he's ready to take over.
Yeah, that's when you said it. You was like, yeah, he's primed up for a good season. Like, dude's gonna do something this year.
Yeah, definitely, man. Kind of like to take us through your summer, man, building up to this season, and just how you handled all of that. Just
coming off of those games, I mean, the first game we played against Indiana was kind of a big game. We played at Trinity, nice little crowd. Then we played against the seniors, and we ended up beating them by a buzzer beater. I hit the buzzer beater against them, and going into the AAU circuit, I was kind of confident just because of how I played against them. And AAU circuit had a pretty good summer. Picked up some more offers, and then cut my list in August. Took some visits, made my commitment in September. And then after that, it was time to get focused on the senior season. And before the season started, like probably the preseason around October, November, I didn't think that we were a state championship team. I mean, we had the pieces for it, but we just weren't strong and skilled enough yet. But we had the chemistry. And then as the season went on, King of Bluegrass got hurt. Once I knew that I was going to come back, and I knew that we were going to be fine.
What was your injury during King of Bluegrass?
Sprained MCL.
Okay. How long did that have you out?
I missed, I think, 5 or 6 games. I was out for like 3 or 4 weeks. They went down to Arby's Classic without me while I was rehabbing. They had a pretty close game against Carmel Christian. That's the best team in North Carolina. And a couple players from Carmel Christian DM'd me on Instagram and told me that that was the best competition they've had all year.
Oh, man.
And even without me, and they were like wishing me a speedy recovery and stuff like that. And then that kind of boosted my self-esteem a little bit.
Got your teammates and stuff.
Yeah. And then they came back January, St. X. I didn't get to play that game, but we won. It was a pretty close game. And after that, it was kind of a little up and down. I came back, I think it was against Wagner. That was a pretty big game. We won that one. And then we had a slouch. I guess we had a little slump for about 2 or 3 weeks. We lost to Henry Clay. They played Scott County in January too.
Without you?
Yeah.
So the first matchup was without you?
Yeah, and without Moreno. Even without him, they were still a really good team. We ended up losing by 3. So we kind of knew what we had to do. We knew that they were the team to beat after that for the state championship. And then when the drones came out to see who would play who in the Sweet 16, we knew that once we made it out of the 7th region, which is one of the toughest regions in the
Oh
state,
yeah, most definitely.
that we were going to get to the state championship and end up playing Scott County. And then 7th region, uh, first round we had male at male. They beat us by a buzzer beater, I think in February. So we knew they were going to come back even more fired up. Uh, I don't know how much I had of that game, but
Let me pause on that male game real quick. I was in the building and I seen it with my own eyes. First of all, talk about that male atmosphere at night.
That was a crazy
man.
atmosphere.
For people,
Yeah.
like that's probably one of the best, representations of like high school basketball with a big game atmosphere that I've seen in a while. Like line outside, you couldn't see that, but when you walk up, line was stretched, around male. And to come in the gym and see students down on the floor, like basically standing there with you as you inbounding the ball. Man, that atmosphere at night and the performance you had, that's in a sold out gym with a lot of doubters and people like, is he that good?
Yeah. You
showed out,
true?
man. I got to give you your props on that. 29 points, you showed out, and Mel came to play that night. And that's as aggressive probably I've seen you play and assertive, and you knew, like, that's when I know I'm like, them boys are going to make this run.
Yeah, something clicked. Something clicked that game. It seemed like.
My mentality after we lost the district championship to Wagner, like, my mindset was, this could be my last game. That wasn't my mindset. I was always planning ahead, like who we're going to play next week, what we're going to do in practice. And up until the championship game of the state tournament, I was always thinking, like, I'm not ending my season on a loss. So I did that.
No, like that's what I will say, like, because, I'm sure, like, one thing I say about you and your game, one thing I noticed and admire is, like, kind of seems like you play pressure free as far as just, like, not really listening to a lot of outside noise. Because I believe it was 7th Region Championship. I think you took 6 shots, and you never pressed and looked like I got to get mine. You never wanted to, like, you had the pressure. People came to see me play. I need to get some points. Like, and you were fine. And your teammate, what's your point guard? 25. I mean, he had the game. 25, and it was cool. And I give you props on that, man. That'll take you very far. That selflessness in the game.
So, man, let's talk about some of the teams that you faced off against this season. You talked about Wagner. You didn't get to face Scott County until later on in the season. Ballard had a pretty good team. Fern Creek had a pretty good team this season. Who's a couple teams or players that stand out in the 6th and 7th region that you had battles with?
Fern Creek are a pretty young team. I think they'll be the favorite the next few years coming out of the region. I mean, Jaden Rogers, their point guard, he's a beast. Male, they'll be good next year. Tyron and Howard and Noah. Ballard, they got some young talent. Rashad Bishop, a few other guards. I think that's all I can think of right now.
I want to give you a second. You spoke of chemistry in the beginning. We're talking about you and your teammate. And let me get this right. You and your teammates, y'all been playing together for a while.
Yeah, since 3rd grade.
Yep. So shout out Stan, Jamil Hardaway, Colton, and Kamari. Just talk about them, the teammates, and just because y'all really only played 6. You have like six guys. You ain't have
6,
yeah. So 6, and so that core 5. Played the chunk of the minutes. Talk about those guys.
We all like made our decision together which high school we're going to go to in 8th grade because we played under Kevin Gray and Tim Gray when we were younger. He coaches at Spalding. And we give him all the credit for how we are now today. And when we came in, we had Walt he's at Ballard now, but we were like talking about our state championship that we're going to win our senior year. And a few weeks before the state championship, we brought that memory right back up, and we said that we were going to do it. But they all know that, to have a good team, you got to have a guy that knows he's the guy, and a second guy that knows that he's not the guy, but he can still play and take over sometimes. And then you got to have the guy that plays his ass off all the time, and that's Jamil. And then you got to have the two quick, feisty people, and that's Kamari and Colton.
And shout out, I know, I believe Stan is going to walk on at Georgia. Kamari also was talented, very talented behind the camera as well. So I don't know if he's going to he got some game too, but I don't know if he's going to play basketball or he's going to take that career off. Because what is it, 1-of-1 media? Yeah. So
he's out here.
I don't know. Do you know any of the other guys' plans?
Kamari and Jamil were considering IUS and a few other schools, but I'm not sure what they're going to do yet. And I believe Colton, he's on a full scholarship engineering program at U of L.
Okay. So, Kamari, man, talk about him, because I knew about him as, through the media he does, through the dope videos and videography he's able to do. But man, he really emerged kind of as you all's like glue guy this year.
I think his coming out party, I'd like to say, was against Fern Creek. We were struggling as a team, and he kind of put us on his back and followed his lead. And then after that, his expectations were the Fern Creek game, so we knew what he could do when he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. We remind him of do what you did in that game, take over.
And you had two monster dunks in that Fern Creek game.
Man,
that was crazy. Brought the house down.
Well, I was like, man, boy got that bounce. God dang.
Oh my goodness. That's one thing I will say. Kind of like your athleticism has developed and changed over the last couple years, man. Like you bouncing now.
Like the one thing that always sticks out when we talk about your bounce is when you try to go over that dude at that mail game. You remember that play?
Yeah.
Oh man.
What was you on, man?
Yeah.
What was you on?
You try to take that man's head off. I mean, if you would have connected on that, oh man, like I don't think he would have been able to play ball ever again, like for real, because you try to take that man's head off. Golly. Yeah. Man, let's kind of talk about going into tournament time. And you had some incredible games out there at Valley High School. After winning the region, what was your mentality going into the state championship? Because you guys made it there last year, but couldn't get to the title. So did you have a different mentality this year, and did it kind of help you having that experience playing in the tournament last year?
My mentality this year was what are my teammates doing? Like, how are they feeling? Like, that was my main concern.
Yeah.
Against Ballard, I think I had like 5 points, but we ended up winning by 20 to a really good team. So me getting them going first, and I know I can get mine whenever I wanted. So making sure that they're mentally prepared and physically fine, then that's my main concern.
And you talked about preparation. Talk about like Coach Sabo and that program over there, man. I will give him credit. He consistently, you all, like, no matter who the guys are, they come out there and they execute. Just talk about like the principles of that program and what he's built over there.
I mean, everything that we do, like the alumni from Ray to like Jack Slavish from a couple years ago, they'd come into practice and stuff like that, and we'd still be doing the same thing that they used to do in practice. And most of the things we do is like repetition. It's like you come in, it's like, oh, we got to do the same thing, but you see it in the game, and once you feel it, then you know that that's what you need to be doing.
Because I mean, the consistency he's building. He's got a guy on one of your assistant coaches. He played when I was in school. The Saxton twin. One of them is now an assistant over there. So I mean, that program he's built, man, is he's really doing it.
Man, talk about going through those games in the state tournament, man. Like, I'm not sure. I can't sit here and tell you who y'all beat before y'all got to that championship game, and we did. Campbell County. During that game, man. It seems like you were one of the best guys in the tournament playing, man. Like, what was your mentality? How did you feel? Like you said, that you made sure that your guys were prepared mentally and prepared physically to go for battle. Where was your head at as far as this is my senior year? Like, it's either kill or be killed right now.
That's exactly what I was thinking. kind of that game, we knew like the first 2 games weren't going to be as high level as the last 2. So that Campbell County game, I came out and I was really aggressive. That's what Coach told me to do. He said since the first 2 games weren't really that good of competition, that he wanted me to. He said I've been sitting out for the first 2 games. So he said, come show the people in Lexington what you're made of. So I did that.
That game came down to a second defensive stand, didn't it?
I swear you got that block. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it was some people upset about that, saying, it should have been a foul, but that was a clean block. Yeah, no, it was a clean block. Man, talk about going into that championship game, man. Like, that's a great position to be in after losing the year before and able to get back. Y'all worked so hard to get to that point. What were you feeling before the games? Did you have any nervousness? Was there any butterflies, or was it just like, man, like this is me, this is my moment?
I mean, for me, like before the game, it didn't really hit me that I was in the state championship game, like one of the biggest games of my life. I think like the second quarter when I hurt my knee, I was like, nah, I can't sit out of this one. So
Right.
It's your last one. I mean, you can't
Right.
really do anything about it. So that's when it hit me that I got to bring it in the second half. We gelled together and we won it.
No, it was a great effort from you and your team, especially like it's kind of like the history with that series with Scott County. They eliminated you all last year, didn't they, in the first round? And then this year they were the number 1 team. They beat you all during the regular season without you or Moreno on the floor, and this was kind of like the rubber match. Then the fact that also I believe Scott County's coach is supposed to be his last game as well.
Yeah.
We thought a little funny business might try to go on.
Right. Go ahead and sit in him off like he was Elway or something with that red
watch
suit.
him down there.
Yeah.
Them blue hairs, my man call him.
Yeah. Yes. Man, okay, we talked about this last week, and with you actually in the thick of playing in the games, do you think that there's any bias, like when city schools go down to state, like you played in the tournament 2 years, like everybody always talks about, the refs are crazy when the city teams get up there. It seems like the whistles are a little bit more kind to those county schools. Like, did you feel any of that last year or this year at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think the championship game was really, it was pretty. The refs were really good.
That's good. Yeah, that's something we always talked about, and that's something that goes a conversation going on in the city is is it a conspiracy or is it really happening? So
I think it's 2 things. I think it's a different game when you get on that big floor down there and rock the lights. So a lot of guys do experience butterflies, and then as well, like those teams from the county can play. Straight up, like Madisonville and Warren Central.
Been playing together for
those teams on that other side are good. I mean, and they go to state every year. Like it's hard for teams out of Louisville to go to state every year. So what? Scott County been to state how many years in a row?
That's like
second straight for sure, right there.
I think they've been 4 times.
Like come on, that class wins. That experience is you can't.
It's like you can't pay for that. You can't pay for that at all. I mean, it seemed like you could tell just from the highlights that Al shot of the game, and then after the game, just the joy on your face, man. It was just pure joy. You could just tell. Like, what was your feeling after that buzzer went off?
I mean, my teammates, they were like running around trying to get me, hug me and stuff. But I was trying to shake hands with the other team. Like, I knew that they were all mad and stuff like that. But
right.
I ended up not shaking hands, but I saw Moreno after that, and we talked a little bit about the game and told him good luck with the rest of his career and all that, and we stayed in touch.
Yeah, I saw a picture of y'all on Twitter. Y'all had took, either it was maybe within the last year or last few years. It seemed like y'all had a good relationship, man. So that's good that you connected with him and you thought of him in that situation. Like, man, even though I won, let me go, check in with my guy. So
you all ended with a state championship. I mean, that's probably one of the most highest accomplishments you can get in the game of basketball.
Most definitely.
So we got to ask you, you were a finalist for the Mr. Basketball Award. Who all were the finalists with you?
I was Marino, Tandy, Allen, Kozart, Noah Back. There was a finals from every region. There wasn't like a top four.
And they all came to the ceremony, and the ceremony is held in Lexington. Okay.
It was at Rupp.
Okay, it was at Rupp. Okay, it sets the setting even better. But no, really good finalist list. We all know that UK signee Dante Allen from Pendleton County won the award. Kind of just that night, take us through the night, what goes on at the state championship banquet? I know they honored Ballard's manager, didn't they? Mm-hmm. Like, what kind of, for people who didn't see it and they just know, like, he won, like, kind of what's the ceremony like?
I mean, you come in, they got some, like, auctions, silent auctions, like, outside the doors, but all the players and nominees, they come in and they do, like, a walkthrough, whatever, what you're gonna go through, and they have a dinner and announce everyone's stats and rebound leaders and point leaders of the season. And after all that's done, they announce the Mr. Basketball and Miss Basketball winners.
Okay. Now, once Dante, you heard his name come, what was your kind of thought? Like, were you surprised? Did you think he was going to win it?
I mean, I was expecting either him or Kiki to win. I didn't really think I was going to win it just because of, Kiki, he played the entire season. Dante was having a good year before he got hurt, and I sat out 5 or 6 games, but I wasn't expecting to win it myself.
Yeah, so he wins it. Controversy.
It was crazy on Twitter that night. Like, to me, and just we've talked about it on the show. Did some of that blue have an effect on him winning? It sure did. It definitely did. To me and to a lot of people out here, if that guy wasn't signed to be a UK Wildcat, he wouldn't have won that award. Like, it does have a little bit of bias to it. I don't know exactly who is, who votes for it, but it does seem like it's a little fishy a little bit. He played 12 games. To me, it just seems like if you look at the season that you had or the season that Kai had compared to him, even though he was putting up, he's putting up crazy numbers. You can't front him on that. But if you look at the body of work, you can't tell me that he's deserving of that. And respectfully to him, congratulate him for getting the award. But I don't know.
That's on them and their award that they, kind of just bring some value of the award down.
Yeah.
When you do something like that.
It does.
You saw what happened in football. With
your boy that went to he signed with Kentucky,
Wandale
Robinson. Then he said, I'm out. Let me get my award. Let me go ahead. Husky time.
It was cold. That was cold hustle.
That was cold as hell. Secure that bag.
They got everything they want.
Yeah.
So,
but it is. But your college career. Your high school career is over. You had the prom. What are you looking forward to as far as with graduation and just kind of, getting a little bit of time to relax before it really, really starts gearing up for you?
I don't really think that I'll be doing a lot of relaxing.
Right.
Up until after graduation, I think I got like a week or so until we're in their hands, and I think I'll just catch up with like old friends and stuff like that before they leave off for college.
Right.
Will you play in any kind of like what's your plans between March and I guess was it June?
Mm-hmm.
So kind of will you play any all-star events or do anything like that?
I think I'm going to play in the Kentucky versus Ohio game, and if Louisville allows me, I'll play in the big one in June.
Okay. I hope you will. I hope because I want to beat Indiana again.
Yes.
I think we get I don't know who's up there this year. Well, I know is Keon Brooks in Indiana?
Yeah, Keon.
But he probably won't play.
Trace Jackson.
Because he's a McDonald's All-American, so he may not play in it. But nonetheless, I like to beat Indiana, and I think we got the team to do it this year.
We
if everybody plays, if you, Tandy, Moreno,
that's a six squad.
What's the big kid down and what's he at? I think he might be going to Xavier too.
Deontay Miles.
Yeah, if you all play,
that's a hell of a squad.
We're gonna have a chance to sweep them this year, for real. So you plan on that. Um, let's Louisville is now your new team. I mean, you're officially done. Your high school career is over. Kind of what's your thoughts about Coach Mack and the season? They just wait, I know today is we catch you on Selection Sunday here, but kind of what's your thoughts on the team and Coach Mack his first year?
With the players that he didn't recruit, technically, he's done a great job with them. A lot of them were thinking about leaving, and they stayed there, and he did a great job with them. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's because of how great of a person he is. Not even aside from coaching, but
Right.
he's a great person. He's cares about your whereabouts and off the court stuff before basketball.
How did you all's relationship build throughout the recruitment?
Started, I think he was my first offer. My freshman year going into sophomore year. It was him, Cincinnati, and Louisville were all there, and he offered, and he told me that he loved me, and he had a good relationship with Coach Zabo, and he called Coach Zabo and told him that he wanted to offer me because he couldn't talk to me technically yet, and then Coach told me, he was like, "Yeah, I love Chris Mack. Yeah, he does great with guards your size." And I looked at Edmund Summers, plays for the Pacers, I believe, and what he did with him was amazing. He went from, I think, a 3 or a 4 star, like not very highly recruited, and then turned him into a NBA prospect the next year.
And Mac, once he kind of got the job coming full circle, like he was first offer, and then you committed to Louisville anyway. So I mean, at some point, as good a coach as Chris Mack was, you
Right.
committed to Louisville at some point. And then everything happened with Coach Pitino and Jurich and them, and then reopening program, going through that transition. Kind of what was your thoughts when that transition was all and you had to decommit at that point because everything was up in the air?
I didn't. My intentions were, I just wanted to go somewhere and play the best fit for me under a
Right.
good coach, good program. And after he got the job, I was like, well, he wouldn't have taken the job if he knew something else was going to happen. So I mean, I've obviously liked to be in that fight with him, so I made a decision to stay with him.
That's crazy how it came full circle. Talk about what you see. You mentioned fight, and I mean, I know Coach Mack preaches, toughness together. Kind of talk about some of those intangibles you see about him as a coach and what he brings out in his players.
I mean, the games that he came to see me this year, he would tell me like what I was doing wrong and how more aggressive I needed to be or what I need to do right and stuff like that. And I think him going to the games and watching him tell his players what they need to do or in practice, him getting on them, I think that can really help.
What do you feel about the team as far as how they've triumphed this season? A lot of people counted them out, didn't really give them a chance, but I mean they had a pretty good season this season when you look at really look at the grand scheme of everything. It's a selection Sunday. How do you think that they're going to do in the tournament?
I think they'll be really good. I think they'll be like a 6 or 7 seed.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of too low, but they're a better team than that. But they're so close together that I think at this point in the season, they'll all come together and make a run for it.
I'm hoping for that.
Yes,
Yeah,
the city needs it now.
we need it, but it'll be good, to hear Louisville's name called today.
Yes,
Selection Sunday. We'll have this week to fill out
it's gonna be a
brackets
good week.
and
Yeah,
hope and dream. I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with the environment that happens during March Madness in the
it's
city.
like no other.
What about 2013? What kind of like your thoughts about what you saw with the city in the championship then? What kind of your thoughts with that? Like how it impacts the city?
I mean, it was crazy. I was 12 years old. I wasn't really thinking I was going to play for Louisville, and like seeing the city come together and all the Louisville fans, like all the parties and family gatherings and stuff like that. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You got another value for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To see that and you were that age, like that was because dude that sits in this chair, he's a hater.
He's a
from
hater.
Louisville, and he's a Kentucky fan. And when we win like that, and you see the city ride, and he's sick.
He's sick as hell. So sick, man. As far as this summer, what are some of the things that you want to work on with your game? What are some of the things that Coach Mack has told you he wants you to kind of focus on, going into college game?
First thing is my leadership. I want to go in and be a leader as a freshman and kind of be the guy that my teammates can come to for anything. And I want to get stronger, learn how to play a lot lower than I already am, because there'll be a lot. I'm me playing the point guard position. They'll have a lot of small guards up under me, so playing lower, being more explosive, and becoming a better defender.
So you said playing the point guard position. So I think that solves a little mystery. Everybody wondering where you're going to play at Louisville. So you coming in to play point?
Yeah, the one or the two, but I think he'll mainly use me as the one.
Is that where he kind of envisions you in his system? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like
the
that
sound
too.
of things.
Yeah.
You're also coming in with that's the other thing I like about you going to Louisville. It's not all on you. You coming in with a very talented class. Talk about some of the guys and you all's relationship in that class that you started to develop with your future teammates.
The first one out of the class I met was Josh Nickelberry. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. We were at USA mini camp in Colorado Springs, and we kind of like talked, but we never thought about going to the same college or anything like that. We never talked about stuff like that, but played him. We played him last July against Game Elite, and I think Coach Begis was there, and he was telling me, he was like, I like your game. Hopefully I can see you in a Cardinal uniform. And we talked a little bit after the game, and then I think I set up my official after I committed. That's when Aiden came, and me and Aiden, like, we hit it off just like that, because him and Josh were best friends before. And then Sam came up one weekend after he committed, and I hung out with him on his visit. Quinn, I haven't met Quinn, but we talked through the group chats and stuff like that. And Jalen, when he was visiting, I think they went somewhere and I saw him out, but we all talked through the group chat. And
so all of you all in one big chat, good group message. So you've actually played against Josh Nickelberry.
Yeah. Kind
of tell us about him. Playing against him in person. Did you know he was committed to Louisville when you played against him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about his game.
He can score. That's about all I can say.
He can score.
Yeah, he can shoot it.
Athletic.
Crazy athleticism.
You also mentioned because you did your official Louisville Live weekend, and so you were here with Aiden. Kind of talk about that weekend, kicking it with him. I saw you all at the football game.
That dude seems like he's a fun dude, like for real.
Kind of talk about him, like what do you like? I know what he's going to bring on the court. He's a freaking monster. But like personality wise, like seems like a electric personality. Like everybody, he loves the lights, the cameras, like everybody.
Seems like he's a joy for real.
Talk about him and Nick. Y'all kicking it. Like what type of dude is he?
I mean, I thought he looks like he's the type of person that like wouldn't talk, but I mean, if anybody asked him for a picture or anything, he'll stop and take the picture. I mean, he'd even walk up to kids, like say, "What's up? How you doing? I'm Aiden." Introduce himself. I mean, he's a cool, mannered guy. I mean, my parents love him. Everybody on the team loves him. He's an energy guy. I mean, he's not really scared to put his voice out there.
So that weekend when you all were on your official visit, I know they do it, but did you all get to run with the team?
We did.
So
how was that?
How was that weekend running with the team?
I mean, they were pretty tired, but I don't think Aiden played. It was just me and Josh.
Okay.
But Aiden, I think something was wrong with him, but it was just me and Josh. It was pretty fun.
Because I know they Louisville did something I've never seen, but it wouldn't work at every school. But they had an open gym.
We
Williamson was here. He don't work at a crazy place like this where people come sell out.
Dude cook too.
But that's the first time I seen Samuel Williams. He was here on a visit. Him and another guard, I think from Texas Tech. Yeah. And that's when I knew. I was like, because that was before. I think Louisville hadn't started playing yet, and I knew I was like, as good as our team has played this year, them boys came in and cooked it.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Dude, yeah.
As good as our boys
Dude had a
are,
clip. Yeah.
and I'm like, these are high school seniors.
Yeah. Going off.
These are high school seniors in here. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, man. So it seems like you guys have a close relationship. It's going to be interesting to see how that transitions on the floor. And it just seems like everybody is so excited for this class. As far as Louisville fans, we've been through a lot here the last couple of years. So just to see how it's come together with you six guys and y'all signing. I think it's gonna be crazy next year. It's gonna be a crazy year for U of L basketball.
We back.
Oh yeah. We definitely
he moved to Las Vegas. Shout out my man Jody Joe.
Oh man, Jody, what's happening?
He's I'm usually the one sending stuff about Louisville to him, keeping him updated. And he's like, I'm back next year. I'm tuned in. This is his first year in Vegas. He said, I'm back next year. I'm tuned in. I said, yeah. I'm excited for Louisville. Like I told somebody, I think best case scenario, even with as talented as their class is, I want everybody on the current team that's eligible. Of course, the grad transfers will leave, but
right.
I want everybody back.
Yeah, everybody.
That's what I don't want nobody transfer.
If everybody come back, it's gonna be ignorant next year.
Because they're gonna push you all, and nothing will be given. And they're gonna have to work hard, and because it's a lot of older guys.
Yeah, I think Coach Mack's the right coach to go ahead and kind of brew up that gumbo with all the older guys, all the newer guys. Like he's the right fit for that type of situation. So
and those guys are all kind of humble guys.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
So I don't think it's gonna be no
ain't gonna be no food stuff.
Any guys on the current team? Talk about Jordan Ward, the year he had, and just like the jump from freshman to sophomore
Most improved player in the ACC.
When I would go over there to watch a practice or anything, he was always the one that stayed after with one of the managers. One of the managers I'm really close with, his name is Kieran. He used to go to Scott County, and he's the one that puts him through all the workouts and coaches workouts and stuff like that. So he's getting some pretty good reps in, and he's always in the gym when they're not practicing. The gym's open 24/7. He'll be in there 1 a.m. getting up shots. So I think that's pretty much paid off for him.
No, I'm hoping he comes on back and does.
I don't know. It's
gonna be tight. It is what it is.
17-7
is kind of hard to. Gotta take a look, but I hope he comes back one more year.
Yeah, I think he's the type of guy where he wants to win. If he sees this situation, man, you know what? I want to come back. I want to experience.
And then we don't know how far they go in the tournament.
Yeah.
Bracket up could open up. You never know. You just got to win one game and things happen.
Yeah. You open it up in that March Madness, man. That's when that check gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So you can't deny it sometimes. So, man, let's kind of talk about we've talked about everything on the court, but off the court, man, you seem like just a cool, clean cut dude, smooth. What's as far as what type of music do you like listening to? What type of movies do you like? What's your favorite?
Music, I listen to rap, all the popular artists, movies. My favorite series is Fast and Furious. I love cars. That's my favorite thing.
Favorite car?
Challenger.
Okay. So you're a Dodge dude. Okay. I'm a Chevy guy. So
fast cars.
Yeah, fast cars. Man, what you said? What have you been jamming on here the last week? I know me and Al been on that Gunner lately, heavy.
Yeah, I think Jada Young. I've been listening to him. I didn't think I'd like him, but Kamari put him on to me.
Somebody put me on.
I heard that name. I haven't heard him yet.
Which one? Where's he from?
I don't know where he's from. I think he's from somewhere down south.
Somebody just put me on some dude from Cali. I think it's called Filthy Rich. Is that it or something? He's talking some pimp stuff, whatever. But it was all right, though. I ain't going to front. And I really don't even like Cali rap, for real, West Coast dudes, because it's just, they all over the place.
Yeah.
But it's all right, though. I had to get the name of it, but I think it was dudes now.
Do you, as far as any artists in the city, do you rock with Jack Harlow?
I like Jack Harlow.
Yeah.
He's really listen to.
You heard the ESTG? I can turn you on,
yeah,
dude.
yeah, ESTG, yeah, he's out here. He's out here.
Like,
They pumping. His
might,
promo is up.
he got it, because it's hard for artists to make it out the city.
Yeah.
But he got a chance, and he's like, Jack's a different genre, you know what I'm saying? But first, like, rapper, like, talking about street stuff, like, he got a chance. Like, he got a mixtape coming out called El Toro, and he's going to have...
I seen some of his new single. I'd seen one of my little homies was trying to jump on the remix of it, but I forgot what it's called, but it's cold, though. Like, I see he's working out here.
I think it drops later this month, but it's called El Toro, and he got a Lil Durk feature.
I like Lil Durk.
He got a what's my dude out of Chicago? Sound like Durk.
Baby.
Nah, he sounds just like Durk on a little song. He got a top song. It'll come to me in a second, but he got a feature with him. So I'm gonna put you on before we leave, man.
Man, what you're going to an Adidas school. If we had our partner Matt here, he's like pure Nike guy. Like, he hates anything other than Nikes. Like, what's your favorite shoe right now?
I think it's between. I have a lot of Vans, so, and I'd say Adidas Ultra Boost, Yeezy, and Vapor Max.
Okay. Team Adidas, Matt. he gonna be mad when he hears this. Man,
you got anywhere you like to go eat in the city? You know, you got to turn your new team. They gonna come to you for everything.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to point them in the right direction of everything. So you got any spots you like to go eat?
Nothing really. I mean, where they're from, like Chick-fil-A. There's a local seafood lady.
Like,
definitely got to take them to seafood lady when they get her.
Got to.
Andes or your Andes or Kings. Yeah,
I'm a Kings man.
Kings got yes.
You know, you got to take them to the hood on 18th to get them some honey barbecue wings.
You talking about Kings or Chicken King?
I'm talking Kings.
Kings, okay, Kings. See, I only had Kings a few times. So I can't.
Chicken King.
Chicken King good too. Yeah, Chicken King good. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely, man. That might be something we could do, like a nice little episode. We take the 6 new guys out for a foodie tour. You know, Louisville's a foodie town. We can hit Seafood Lady. We can go to some of the hood spots. We can go to some of the like Game, those type of places. You know? Yeah, big man. Gotta go holler at Lucretia's Kitchen. Holler at her. It's a Dairy Dale. I think is that what it's called out there off of by campus, the little ice cream spot?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely take them there. So yeah, man, that might be something dope we could all do, man. Go on a little foodie tour when they all get here, man. Man, before we get out of here, man, I know there's a lot of young kids that look up to you in this city, man. It just is. As far as the world that we live in, the society that we live in, everything is so personal now, where people can make an attempt to follow you and definitely find out your personality, what you're into, and everything. But what would you tell younger kids out there in this county, in this city? What are some words of encouragement that you would give them as far as them going through this struggle? You graduating high school, the last 4 years probably done been crazy for you. What would you tell some of the young kids that are behind you right now?
Probably not to get caught up in the hype. Like, when you get a little bit of attention, don't think that you're too good and got to start working for whatever you're doing. Not even sports, just
right.
Like the media. Don't try to compare yourself to people in the media. Like, when I was in 8th grade, I used to watch. I think it was like 5th grade. I used to watch Seventh Woods. He was crazy in high school. He was 13, 14, dunking on people. I was like, that's how I got to be when I turned 13. And then I completely forgot about it, didn't listen to it, stayed in the gym, and then here I am today.
Man, definitely good words out there for the young kids in Louisville and across the country, man. I know there's a lot of kids in the city that look up to you, man. So, man,
definitely, man. Well, we appreciate your time today, man. You've been gracious with your time. Congratulations on the great season with Trinity and Trinity Basketball. Like I said, man, the man's working on living legends.
Yes.
You got what you got. How many LIT championships you got? Two
Two.
LITs. You've been to how many state tournaments? Three state tournaments, one state championship, 7th region player of the year. You got one of them in your pocket. Anything else I'm missing? Have they done something else? Gatorade player of the year, something coming? It's got to be coming out.
Yeah, I was gonna say
They already announced they have the Kozak.
They got the Kozak. Okay.
There's some more stuff coming down the pipeline that we're gonna add to that list. But man, as far as in the city, man, like you gonna go down as a legend, man, for real. So here at 35KY, we gonna always support you, always be behind you, man. Whatever you need from us, we got you, man. So yes, sir. So anything else, Al?
I ain't got not too much for you, man.
Hey, it's been another great episode, man. Make sure that you are following us on everything, 35KY Sports, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Make sure that you are subscribing to our YouTube channel. Make sure that you are subscribing to our podcast on SoundCloud and on iTunes, man. Like, we out here, one of the best sports shows you ever gonna hear, man. So we appreciate everybody checking in with us. And like we do on every episode, we will catch y'all on the next run.
Peace.